Hello and welcome back to Survivor News Truck Talk. My name is James, and in this video we're going to be talking about a few differences between Crete Carrier and New Legend Transportation when it comes to their dispatching operations. Jumping right in, one of the first things that I have noticed working with Crete is a little feature what they call PTA, and that is a projected time and availability. And so for those of us that are not completely familiar with the trucking industry, there's a place in the tablet after you go hook up to a load and you're ready to go. There's a little feature on the end of the page called PTA, and this is very nice because what this does, it allows the driver to put in their projected time of availability, and that means that they are loaded. It's letting the dispatcher and planners know that you're going to deliver around this estimated time depending on delays, weather, or whatever the case may be. And it's going to let them know when you're ready to go again, to go pick up another load. So what does all this mean? What this means is that there's not going to be waiting around for hours and hours and hours for your next load. Crete has done a nice job, in my experience so far, giving me my pre-plans ahead of time. I'm entering my PTA time and date when I am available and ready to go for another load. And so this keeps me moving. This gives me the mileage that I want every day and week after week, and it's just a nice feature. I have not noticed working for New Legend Transportation this particular feature. However, they do use two different kinds of systems. Crete Carrier uses PeopleNet software. New Legend uses McLeod app, and McLeod app has its nice features as well. There's some things that I notice in the McLeod app that you don't have in the PeopleNet software app. And so, but I think one of the most important things to understand is that Crete finds it very important to know when you're ready, your estimated time that you're going to deliver, so that you won't have a lot of gap in there waiting around for your next load. So I find that to be a very nice feature. Another difference that I have noticed between Crete Carrier and New Legend Transportation is the dispatcher's communication. The dispatchers, as we also call them asset managers, they sound very confident. They sound like they know what they're doing. And if something changes, such as an appointment time for a customer, delay due to whatever circumstance that surrounds that situation, I'm going to know about it. They will send a message to me, they will call me and give me a heads up. And I really like that because it doesn't leave me in the dark, doesn't leave the truck driver wondering what they are going to do, and to make sure that they keep moving. So I also noticed that in the PeopleNet software, Crete Carrier sends very detailed messages about the customer that you are delivering to, such as if you have to wear a mask or if you have to put a safety vest, little instructions in the notes and trying to reach the truck entrance. This is all important because once you get into a situation that you don't know what the specific details or expectations are of that customer, you start losing time. And you and I both know in the trucking industry that it's all about moving forward. It's all about staying proactive and not losing time and getting the miles that we want. And so these little things matter, and Crete Carrier has done a nice job being proactive and letting the drivers know ahead of time what they are getting into. And so in contrast, in my experience with New Legend Transportation, the communication was not as solid. I did find myself in New Legend Transportation waiting around for a long time just to get an answer about my next load. I did find myself, and I have experienced very difficult dispatch managers where they are not communicating properly and they just don't have all the information they need. And that's the difference that I experienced with New Legend Transportation. So here's one of the last things that I want to share as we segue into what I just said, is that Crete's dispatch managers have competency. It sounds like they know what they're talking about. It sounds like they know what to expect at a customer, and they're relaying that information to you. If they don't have an answer, this is nice. If they don't have an answer and you ask them, I've seen with Crete, in my experience, that they're going to find that answer, or they're going to work on it for you and get back to you. And so what I'm saying is, I have found in my experience with Crete that the dispatch managers and asset managers are very personable. And that what I mean by that is that you can get along with them. They are treating you like a human being, and they are giving you the information that you need to stay proactive and get the miles that you want. So as we summarize briefly what we have talked about in the differences in operations between Crete and ULegend, is that Crete has the PTA option, which simply means the projected time availability. They're going to know when you're ready to go again, and you're going to keep moving forward. They do use two different systems. Each one has its pros and cons, but I think one of the most important ones is the PTA, because that's all about being proactive and being ready to go again. Another difference that we just spoke about was the dispatch communication. I'm experiencing very good communication with my dispatch managers and asset managers, and keeping things very clear so that there's no downtime or lost time. And that would also be rephrased as their competency. And so if you're getting value out of these videos and this content that I'm sharing about Crete, you can use me as a referral if you like. My driver ID is FUEJ. If you would like to apply or get in touch with me, I do also have a website, survivornurse.com, where you can reach out on the contact page. You can drop questions in the comments below in this video, and also look at our descriptions. We can be contacted there, and I'll answer those the best that I can. But again, if you're finding value and you like the positive things that I am sharing in my personal experience with Crete, you can use me as a referral. I do get rewarded for that and for referring you. And again, my driver ID is FUEJ. Thanks again for listening. I am going to have another video talking about perhaps the breakdown process and the differences that I have seen there between the two companies. Thank you.